There is a plug under my desk that I thought was the charger. Turns out it was the power cord. And as soon as it touched the rim, dude, what happened? It's done. So, hey, and welcome to the Outpost Treasure Chest, where we review all things that show up to the Outpost. Today, we're going to look at my second lightsaber from Theory Sabers. Again, here we're going to skip the unboxing because I feel like there's a lot of unboxing with the contents. And it's not a secret. I've already posted about it. Without further ado, this is the Rook E32. Not sure what E32 is. If anyone knows what that means, let me know. But this is the one-button Profi board with Mark 1 fonts. I've had this one since late June of this year, just like the Annie 3, the chosen one, which you can kind of see right here. And actually, as I went back to look at the order date, I found that I ordered this one on the same day that I ordered the chosen one. I remember trying to justify getting this second one to my wife by saying, I can't have just one. How are we gonna duel if we only have one? I don't think she actually bought it as much as she luckily supports my nerd habits. This is the only saber so far that I've written a review on over at Theory Sabers website. As I went back to check out my review from there, I read a few other reviews, and this person named Luke mentioned the spinning portion of the hilt here. Yeah, he said, this is what he said. He said the slotted handle does spin, as another reviewer has mentioned, but it's easily removable as shown in the picture. He has pictures up for your own personal taste. Just some added customization in my opinion. Like, dude, what? I've had this since June and I'm just now realizing this. I guess I just wasn't turning the pommel hard enough. I guess I didn't really think like to maybe hold the top. So yeah, it does. There we go. So pommel comes off. So does the slide, or the sliding handle. So I think it does look pretty cool without the sliding portion there. So anyways, so I'm gonna go over the details of the Rook here, and it's the Rook because of its resemblance to a Rook piece in chess. This portion here up top. It's a one-button Profi with the button located on the upper third of the hilt, and the charge port is literally right above it. I wasn't sure what that was when I first got it. I opened up the saber just to check out the chassis. It was like, how do I charge this thing? Because I thought it was just kind of part of how it looked. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But you'll see here, I guess that's where a USB-C would normally go, but there's no charge port there. And then when I finally looked at my stuff, you can see Profi board, I think. Then when I opened up all the extras, I did see the type of charge that goes in this port here. This has a great weight and balance. It's not much heavier with this piece on, but it's definitely got an awesome balance, easy to maneuver and spin around, especially without a gearbox or any rubber grips like the Annie 3 Chosen one has. So it's also a very nice matte. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up. It kind of looks blue from my angle here, but it's a nice matte purple and blue finish, or maybe like a satin. That was supposed to be weathered black. If you look on the Theory Sabers website, it's labeled as weathered black, and it looks amazing. But so does this blue one. This blue one's pretty cool. I just would rather have had the weathered black. It has 2 retention screws. One on, well, I guess it's circular, so it's not each side, but directly across from the other side is the 2 retention screws. It is a 1-inch blade diameter. You can see that I have a Theory Sabers blade plug in there that started coming with sabers aside from the other blade plugs. Like this is one that came with the Annie 3. It's nothing crazy. Then I got like a turbine that I have in another one of my sabers. The blade seats really well into the hilt, about 2 inches. So from here to about like here, it's like 2 inches and some change maybe. From the top, and then from here to here is like 3/4 of an inch below the retention screws. So it has amazing like handle. There's no wobble in mine. Because it's Profi, the battery life is great, especially compared to the S and V Pixel Pro on my other hilts. This thing lasts a long time. So I'm gonna go over the button usage here again without reading the instructions. I figured some things out that I didn't notice in the instructions when I first read them. So yeah, we'll go over that. Let's put in a blade here. I have this nifty little tool by Strabito from Amazon that it's much easier to use for me than the Allen wrench. You just got to be careful not to strip your retention screws and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of that tool that Luke uses to fix his saber. However, I do need the Allen wrench to, Allen key, whatever you call it, to scoop this out because the retention of the Rook is really good. It's like a tuning fork. All right, let's throw a blade in here and then we'll go over these buttons. And when it gets a little tight, I just hand tighten it just to make sure that I'm not gonna strip my retention screws, which I have done already on another saber. Let's start with one button press to turn on. And so this is from like cold. There's no, I haven't turned this on in a good while before starting this video. So you can't do a twist to turn it on. All right, one button ignition. Right now we're on Vader. So after you turn it on, you can now use the twist to turn it on and off. But after a period of time, when the blade is off, the saber will shut down just to conserve battery, and you'll have to press the ignition button again to turn it on. But once it's on, you can do things like laser deflection. I keep hitting things around my desk. This is a new setup, so I don't have a lot of room around here. So blaster deflection, advanced blaster deflection is you hold the button down and then you swing the blade and it will automatically deflect blaster fire for you so that you don't have to keep pressing the button every time you move it around. So you press every time to deflect. Let's see if I can do this here without knocking something around. Alright, so I think I activated it, and now I should be able to move quickly without pressing the button and deflect blasters. Oh, I hit my camera. But you can see I'm not pressing the button and it automatically deflects blasters. And you can shut that off by, again, holding the button down and doing a swing. And now when I swing, it doesn't deflect blasters. So movie scenes. When you hold the saber upright and you hold the button and give it a twist, a movie scene or sound or something related to the character will come up. And you can turn the blade off so that you can actually hear what's going on.
Vader, the fleet has moved out to light speed and we're preparing to...
Oh no, my battery's dying.
For the last time, Captain Piet.
Yes, my lord.
Make ready to land our troops beyond their energy field and deploy the fleet so that nothing gets off the system. You are in command now, Admiral Piet.
Well, that's pretty lame. My battery's dying, so I will have to continue recording after this charges for a bit. However, this has not been charged for a long time, so I will be back after it charges. Alright, so in taking this break to charge my saber, I got some bad news. There is a plug under my desk that I thought was the charger for this port. Turns out it was the power cord for my hub for my computer. And as soon as it touched the rim, I heard a pop noise. I was like, dude, what happened? Turned on the blade, and while it lights up, there is no sound. I took it apart, and it just smells like burnt. Yeah, it just is burned. It's done. So it still lights up. I'm sure it'll still do all the effects, yeah, so you can see it kind of flash, but it's done. There will be no sound coming out of this. So I can finish the review by just kind of going over some of the basics. I have another one button Profi that I'll go over. To change the color of the saber. Uh-oh, did my lights die too? Oh, there it goes. I don't think it's wanting to stay on. Yeah, no. Oh, also the battery's still dying, so so yeah, color change, you hold the saber upside down, you hold the button and you twist, and it will go into blade color changing mode, and then you just kind of slowly rotate it till you get the color you want. And then you just hold the button for 3 to 5 seconds and you'll hear it come out of color changing mode and it'll stay on the color that you've chosen. Again, has flash on clash, knock it out. Oh shit, I think I just got shocked there. Let's take this battery out and see if I don't get shocked doing it. Nice, okay. That's done. No chance of getting burned. All right, so blade lock, you have to hold the button when you're clash. So say you're dueling with somebody, hold the button, hit sabers, and then you'll get a steady blade lock with the other saber. It's generally in the middle of the blade. And then you continue holding it until you're done, and then when you release the button. For tip drag, you just turn the saber upside down, hold the button, and just tap it on the ground on a hard-ish surface. You don't want to ruin the saber. Yeah, it'll look like you're kind of dragging it. It'll turn white at the tip. So wall melt, I have some trouble with it. What I do is I'll press the button and then I'll kind of tap it into a wall and it'll turn orange, like Qui-Gon melting the blaster door in episode 1. To turn it off without the twist, you can hold the power button for 5 seconds while it's on. While it's off, there's also some features. So if you tap the button twice, music will start by Samuel Kim. You tap twice to stop, press for half a second and release. It'll change through the character fonts. And if you pass one up that you like, you just hold the button down for like 5 seconds and it'll go back to the previous one. If you tap the button 3 times, it'll check the battery level. To change the volume, what you do is you hold the button and then you tap it and release, and that is volume changing mode. And to turn the volume up, you kind of do some quick presses and it'll turn up the volume. You'll hear like a max. You'll hear a different tone when it reaches its max. If you want to lower it down, you give it like a kind of like a 1 second to a half second press until you hear a lowest level kind of tone. And then once you've reached your desired volume level, you hold the button and then you tap it again, and that'll put it back into operational mode. This one does not go into mute, it just gets like a super low level. So we'll finish up here with the pros and cons I listed in my review, which aren't many as far as the cons go. So pros, it's very well balanced with a 32-inch pixel blade, easy to twirl, great length. I think it's like 11 inches or something like that. Maybe right around 12. Actually, maybe it's like 10 or something. Anyways, it's a great length hilt. It's got a great weathered look, even though, you know, it's supposed to be a different color. Spinning is actually, the spinning hilt is actually a cool feature. I don't mind it, especially now that I know that you can remove this and put it on. It's kind of a cool feature. It's super bright and vibrant. I love the color, but it can feel sharp too, as the hilt's vertical lines here around the horizontal lines, they kind of like pinch you. The edges of the top of the hilt are also sharp when twirling, so typically, at least for me, I haven't really learned to operate down here. I operate around here, and this is like the most comfortable when there's a blade in, and so these lines are not deathly sharp. They don't cut you or anything, but it does get irritated. This area turns red. Like I said in the last video, Cal Saber sound or saber font is my favorite. But on this particular saber, it seems like overly distorted compared to Vader and Balin's, whose saber sound pretty similar. I did order the black weathered version, but I got this kind of like a weathered blue purple Not a huge deal, but I did like the black that was advertised in the pictures. So my overall thoughts are I enjoy this hilt. It looks cool, sounds cool when the speaker isn't busted. It's bright, it's easily maneuverable, it's the most durable. I've dropped this thing many times. When I wrote my review, I had only dropped it a few times, but this thing has dropped so many times and it's already weathered, so not a huge deal for it to be bouncing all over the place. I haven't put it through major stress tests yet, but again, I've dropped it a few times, done some light battling with no issues. Shipping was super quick and even showed up a day early. So there you have the Rook from Theory Sabers with a Profi board, busted speaker. That's entirely my fault. But thank you for coming to the Outpost Treasure Chest and hanging out with me for another review. Next, maybe the other one button Profi that I have, just to get you guys the visuals and all the things that I went over. And then I have some other things that are in the treasure chest. Not sure if you can see it. There's this here. I'll go over that a little bit, maybe in a reel or a short or something like that. And I have so many other things that I'm going to go over that's not just lightsabers. Thanks again. Hope to see you at the Outpost Treasure Chest next time. Hard enough? I guess I didn't really think like to maybe hold the top. So yeah, it does. Oh, look, there we go, messing it up again. Maybe I tightened it too tight. Oh, I really can't do this. Bloopers? Alright, so let's tighten that, and then I did it earlier, I promise. I might end up turning this saber on while I'm trying to... There we go.